so delightful. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the November 21st edition of the Fun Show here at Big TV. We all had fun trying to get here tonight. We're all a little bit on the gimp.
Yeah.
We've all spent recent time in the hospital, but here we are. We couldn't leave you out in the cold, and it is cold. As a matter of fact, last night and this morning it actually snowed. I mean, it snowed enough to stick in certain grassy and leafy portions of the landscape, which was nice.
And all those people took out their skis because of what's going on up in Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine.
They called off school in Syracuse today.
Syracuse,
They
New York.
canceled school.
Yeah.
Who are those people? The ones with their skis?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
All those people.
Okay.
All those people. All righty. Well, Saturday I had a beautiful day. It was a wonderful, lovely day. I went to the Harvard-Yale game, and
Harvard lost.
Harvard lost. Harvard played absolutely abysmally.
Yeah.
Was really, really bad, and they still only managed to lose by 7 points on a touchdown that wasn't. But it sort of is indicative of the uniqueness of the Harvard-Yale game in that all the Yale fans were thrilled to death. The Harvard fans were all somewhat in shock. And
They took off their clothes, some of them.
Wait a second. The only point of that is that Yale's season record was 3-7, and Harvard's season record was 7-3.
Oh.
But they feel like the winners. Yes, and about 12 to 20 of the young men of Yale took off all their clothes and danced on the wall and taunted the police. And the stadium is so old, there's no real aisles in it.
Yeah.
And so if you get a whole bunch of kids standing in the stairway, security can't get anywhere near them. So security was kind of lamely down on the field pointing up at these guys. It's like 14 feet from the field up to the first row of the stands. But this was not flashing. They were there totally starkers for at least 15 minutes. You know.
These guys are buttes.
I stopped some Yaleys on the way out after the game, and I said, well, congratulations. You won the game, but I don't think your admissions department is too proud of itself.
Good.
So that was
All right.
that was that. You know, Herr Trump, who is not president-elect, remember that.
He's Mr. Trump.
Herr Trump,
He's Hair Trump.
the chancellor. right?
Chancellor.
He's now
Very good.
I think he's named like 5 people that he wants in various positions so far, 4 or 5, not many. But of them, the Southern Poverty Law Center has branded 2 of them racist and members of hate groups. So that's a real good start there, Herr Trump. And he wants to appoint that sheriff from Arizona, head of Homeland Security. I thought he might have had to look harder for Herman Hesse in the United States, but apparently not. But on the other hand, we won't feel obligated to call his illegal immigrant wife First Lady, because apparently she's not moving to the White House.
He's going to stay in New
She's going to
York
stay in New York.
with Barron.
And New York has given a very clear message. Hell no, get the hell out. Trump talks about he wants to go back to New York every weekend.
Oh, well, he's got a plane. He can
And,
2 planes.
And the New Yorkers said, didn't you get the message that 96% of Manhattan voted against you? You know, we don't want you closing our streets.
Why can't he go back to New York every weekend?
He can.
He's not going to be the chancellor. Everybody else is going to do his work. As long as Pence stays in Washington,
He can.
the job is covered.
He can go back. The only problem is they close like 2 lanes of Fifth Avenue whenever he's there. There's a no-fly zone that's 2 miles around Trump Tower.
There you go.
So no planes can fly over Manhattan anymore. This This is one of the major reasons New Yorkers don't want him coming back.
All the more reason to
You know
hate him
that
even more.
bring up something that isn't. But I don't want to talk about him for a while.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
amen.
the Merrimack River out west in this state.
In this state.
Yeah, in
Because
this
there's
state.
a Merrimack River in Missouri, too.
No, in this state, I said, okay.
Okay.
They have pulled 73 cars out of the river so far.
Yeah.
73 cars.
Yeah.
And that river is what they get drinking water.
They were all reported stolen.
Well, that's the insurance, car
Yeah.
insurance, and they said there's more to pull out. The police said.
Now,
Can you
what,
believe this?
and is this the entire length of the Merrimack or in some particular city
They
or
didn't.
town?
They weren't giving
clustered?
geography on it. No location.
Just called it the Merrimack River.
Merrimack
Okay.
River. Okay.
What percent of the population of Massachusetts could tell you where the Merrimack River was?
Isn't it up by
Probably,
Lowell?
probably 10, 15%.
But
I would say.
isn't it up by Lowell?
I don't know where it is.
It's.
I have no idea.
It's the western. Actually, the that roadway, the turnpike goes over it, near it, I think. The
You
Merrimack.
sure you're not thinking of the Concord?
No,
Okay.
it's way out. It's way out.
All right. Well,
Okay.
doesn't sound like Lowell,
No.
meaning that none of us know where it is.
Yeah.
It's out
Look
there.
that up.
It's I guess it's near Lowell. Anyways, they put
Lowell is due north, Michael.
well
Not way out west.
northwest.
No.
No, due
You're
north.
right. But the Lowell police were involved with pulling out the cars.
So maybe you know where it is,
Yeah,
and we
I
don't
was
know where it is.
gonna say.
All right.
Okay.
We're all
We're
set.
going to get in trouble over this. All right. Okay.
You know, I find it very interesting that on a non-political subject, is your preference, they fired Jurgen Klinsmann. Blank look. The coach of the U.S. men's soccer team.
Oh yeah.
They lost the other day 4-1 or 4-0 or something to Colombia or something. They're in the bottom of their whole group, dead last in their group
Yeah.
for World Cup things, and they fired the guy. I was so happy.
Did you see the thing on 60 Minutes yesterday?
I did see the thing on 60 Minutes, and I totally agreed with the women. If anything, they should be paid more than the men because they're good and the men stink.
They're number one in the country
In the
and
world.
in the world.
Right.
And they've won more games and they've played more games.
Right. And the men stink.
What was it? That guy Tim Howard was paid $3,000.
No, 380.
No, but he was
Oh.
paid $3,000 more than I can't think of her name. But the thing
Right.
is Tim Howard only played 8 games.
8 games.
And she played 23.
Yep. Absolutely. No, I mean, obviously, just as a basic principle, they should be paid the same. They have the same employer for exactly the same job. I mean, we give a lot of lip service, or we did before Trump was elected, give a lot of service to equal pay for equal work.
Yeah.
Right? And this was the clearest case of equal pay for equal work, except they played more.
They played
so it was
better.
more, but
Okay, but the Pats at least beat the other guys.
yeah, too bad.
Well, no.
Too bad.
Okay.
Well, Tommy had to go home. Tommy and what's his name, Edelman. They both went home to win. So Tommy got to win in front of his parents.
Yes,
It was nice.
yes.
Okay. And
Who was the guy they suspended for 4 games? Somebody just
a
got.
linesman?
I don't know.
I missed what he did.
I'm not paying any attention
Did that?
anymore.
Oh,
Not
okay.
Sheard. No, I don't.
I mean, I wanted the Patriots out of Massachusetts before because of Roger Go to hell. But now I want them.
Roger Go-
Now
good.
I want them gone because apparently, from
Good.
top to bottom, they're all Trump supporters.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can't. Yeah, that's devastating.
Okay, so now we got.
So I want to see them lose every game. they
What
play.
about this Jeff Sessions, the senator, Republican
Didn't
from
he just say he didn't
Alabama?
talk about this anymore?
And they
In the other room.
he's talking about having him as Attorney General.
Right, and he is the only one of 2 men in the last 48 years to be rejected by the Senate Judiciary Committee
For judgeship.
for judgeship because he was a racist.
Yeah.
And so That's going to be the Attorney General. And it's just another example. I mean, one after another examples of these things.
It's terrible.
Here's a quote from Jeff Sessions. I may have said something about the NAACP being an un-American and communist, but I meant no harm by it.
No.
I should have a really cheesy Southern accent in talking about him. He's been condemned by the Southern Poverty Law Center. But I like the last line of this story about the people that Trump is wanting to appoint to things. And here's the last line. That orange glow emanating from the man is the sun setting on America's progress.
Yeah, not bad. Okay.
I mean, I don't think he has mentioned anybody definitively who is not reprehensible,
So far.
or as Hillary said, deplorable.
Deplorable.
Deplorable. But I don't like this Brown. He was the last one mentioned today.
Yes.
But,
What was his name?
Scott.
Our former senator,
Oh, Scott.
Scott Brown.
Yeah.
Now he wants, theoretically, is interviewing him for head of Veterans Affairs.
Right. And then, but we didn't talk about Mike
But
Pompeo.
he's also interviewing Willard. Here's a guy,
Yeah.
nobody said as many bad things about Trump as Willard, and here he is interviewing him for a cabinet, either because he wants to embarrass Willard, or he really has nobody to choose from.
Yeah.
You know?
Or both.
Or both. Very good.
Both. Very good, yes.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's good.
I wonder if he knows his name is Willard.
Then there's Mike Pompeo,
Oh, another beauty.
Kansas Republican, and he wants to. I guess he's interviewed for CIA director. Pompeo. Okay. He's a tough critic, or he was a tough critic of Clinton.
You know, it's spreading.
And he was on that one of these Benghazi review things. Yeah, you're gonna go ahead.
One waste of money after another. The Trumpism, though, is spreading, unfortunately. Some people would say it's spread here from Brexit and things like that, but it's spreading. The mayor of Montreal was proposing building a Muslim ghetto in Montreal and requiring all the Muslims to live in it.
They're getting there.
I mean, can you believe in this day and age that you would actually publicly propose building a ghetto?
Yes.
Haven't we pretty well proved that ghettos are not a good thing?
The thing is that
Well, this guy Brennan, he would propose it. I would say he would. Breitbart and
Oh yeah, no, probably.
yeah, he would do it. Or is it Bannon?
Bannon.
Yeah. Okay, he's got a big job.
He's the worst.
He's the worst.
He's the worst.
Then comes Lieutenant General
And then,
Mike.
of course,
Michael.
and then his son-in-law,
Yeah.
who he wants to give a job to, in spite of the fact that he's clearly and unequivocally against the law. It's against the nepotism laws that exist. However, their way of getting around it appears to be that the kid will say, I'm not going to take any salary, so I'm not an employee. And of course, Daddy will just pay him out the side.
Well, he's a multi-millionaire anyways.
He claims.
Well, he
Oh,
is.
you mean the son?
The son-in-law. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a very wealthy real estate family.
You know what the most
That Christie sent was the
to
prosecutor
jail. His father to jail, yes.
for 10 years, which is a long time.
But the irony of that is that I saw on YouTube or something
Yeah.
their like 5-year-old daughter, and she was really cute and seemed to be smart and pleasant, a kind of kid that you could admire. There's no accounting for
Genes.
genealogy. You know? She was reciting poems in Mandarin at 5.
Then there's another general,
Made the Chinese happy anyway.
a 4-star general. I can't remember his name.
Oh, he's terrible too.
But they want to give him
Flynn. is his
defense.
name. Flynn.
No, not Flynn.
Oh, no, a different one?
Flynn,
Okay.
Flynn is getting national security advisor's job. I can't get this other guy.
He's really terrible.
Oh, there's another one. Okay. Now, did you know, Susan, that there's no law and order on the Amazon River in Brazil? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Why do I bring it up?
Thank you for sharing.
Because
there
there
am
are-
I worrying about that last
Wait
night.
a minute. Modern day pirating and terror on the river.
Okay.
They're attacking these boats, and then they get all the people on the boats, and they
throw
take
them
off.
to the piranhas?
They take all the, not the piranha, no. They just take their money.
Well, there
Oh,
goes
okay.
our vacation plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get our money back soon?
No, you're not getting your
Call
money
William
back.
Shatner and Priceline
No.
and say, guess what? We're opting out of that Amazon trip he talked us into.
Here's something that's good, something I like. There's a company now that claims to have come up with a process where they can clean up fracking water,
Yeah.
not pump it back down under the ground,
For another earthquake.
turn clean water back into the rivers, and sell the resultant salt for highway jobs.
I thought it
And
was-
they hope to reduce significantly the number of earthquakes in Oklahoma.
Sounds
And
good.
That's good ingenuity
Yeah.
and things like that. I'm not sure that I want Oklahoma to have fewer earthquakes, but that's a good move on people's parts. Tell you about business and politics and things like that. There's now a widespread boycott of New Balance.
Oh.
And people are really boycotting. They're burning them on YouTube and things like that. And it's all primarily because New Balance, one of their executives, came out praising the election of Trump and stuff. The only unfortunate part of that, I'm glad if a company comes out and endorses Herr Trump, that they'll see their business suffer. On the other hand, this is a Massachusetts company, and it's about the only shoe company that actually makes their shoes in the United States.
True.
Where does Reebok make theirs?
China.
China? What's the other
Okay.
one? I was
Okay.
surprised Converse was here too.
Well, Converse isn't making many shoes these days.
No, they're not.
I have no idea where they
Reebok.
make theirs. I'm not saying they
New
don't.
Balance, Reebok are doing
But
okay.
New Balance is one of the biggest, and they make the majority of their shoes not
the
only
States.
in the States but in Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Big TV Unrehearsed Thespian Society's presentation from this evening, scraped right off the top of the archives in the vault. This one is, only 13 years old.
Thanks.
It's an adolescent play, that's age-wise, and it is entitled Diplomatic. And when I say unrehearsed tonight, that's totally true. Wait a second.
She starts.
You're Mal.
I'm Mal,
Okay. You're Kyle.
Yes.
and you're Joe.
And I'm Joe, just so that we know which lines to read. Although we usually mess that up too, anyway.
Okay. Action.
Go ahead.
You can't trust the North Koreans.
Hey, they're communists.
Hungry ones, anyway.
You can't trust Saddam.
The UN inspectors are finding that out.
Starvation is common.
But they're looking in the wrong places.
He's hiding the stuff in his palaces.
The Chinese are complaining about the illegal refugees.
And the Chinese are profit-seeking Marxists.
It's the Saudis that control everything.
Yes, but the oil money goes everywhere.
The North Koreans are reopening their nuclear facilities.
You'd think they'd reunite with the South.
First, the U.S. has to send 30,000 troops home.
So we go back to the Philippines.
Yeah, well, they made us leave.
Well, they're still in Singapore.
I'm concerned about the Sudan and Libya.
Probably socialist Syria is hiding Iraqi weapons.
Nobody says one word about Castro.
Lots of people are traveling to Cuba now.
The weapons are buried.
You never mention Northern Ireland.
Ooh.
What's Ulster got to do with it?
Got to do with it. Got to do with it. It's part of Ireland.
And
Kashmir.
yeah, that was my.
Kashmir.
Yeah, I was trying to read it.
Yeah.
And Kashmir is part of India.
Well, no one talks about Tibet anymore, anyways.
Could we get back to Iraq?
Suppose the UN crowd doesn't find poison gas or anthrax or weapons of mass destruction.
Well, then the Secretary General of the UN will equivocate.
Or maybe even vaccinate.
But he must take some sort of position.
Why?
Why? Because the world expects it.
By that you mean the media?
Naturally, but that's not enough.
But what happens to the Kurds?
Now or after?
You'd have to ask Turkey, Russia, and Iran.
Yes, the Kurds have a lot of relatives.
First, Saddam's army must be defeated.
The father did that during Desert Storm.
Oh.
Well, you'd think that he'd have learned a lesson.
The father did, but not Saddam.
So we're waiting for the father of all battles.
Is that a sardonic comment?
It ain't over till it's done.
Oh, Belichick. But there's still plenty of appeals and political maneuvering going on.
It's going to require a great deal of patience.
Which is hard for troops, carriers, planes.
And it takes time to get the bases, supplies, logistics ready.
Oh, the more the better.
Preliminary protocols of agreement can be redrafted.
The foreign ministries will have endless meetings.
Our leader will speak to Congress and to the nation.
Sharing information with our country is vital.
You guys make me want to laugh,
Oh, that's certainly your right.
but I don't think it's funny.
And frankly, I don't understand where you're taking all this.
It used to be called war.
Oh, no. Now it's preventive action.
Unstable conditions, huh? Military deployment.
Ease tension, but the pressure on air surveillance.
Nuclear disarmament, dealing with a crisis.
Oh, standoff. Savings at the gas pump.
Mobilize guard and reserves. Begin covert actions.
Non-proliferation treaty.
Casualties, friendly fire, collateral damage.
Well, you
Oh,
got,
Sorry.
you got declare victory and launch attack at dawn. Does all this seem cynical to you guys?
well, it is 2003.
Whoa. You just had to put a proper spin on it.
You mean the results?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Everybody sees the outcome differently.
What about the planning for afterwards?
It's going to cost a lot of money.
Yes, probably billions.
Trillions.
Blackout.
We'll let Trump pay for it.
But it's but Secretary of State Kerry, he would know all these things. He'd know all.
He was
about
a senator then, right?
it. Then, yeah, he would have known all this.
And
stuff,
I don't
though.
think he was even married to Teresa. Let's see.
Now Trump asks.
Yeah, he was. He was
Trump-
there for a long time.
Trump
time.
wants an apology.
Trump wants an apology?
Yeah, his running mate Pence went to
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Went to
Got
see the cast of Hamilton. He saw it, and then at the end they started. One of them got up and gave a speech.
Yeah.
And this is a great example of why Pence is 100 times slicker than Trump. Because Trump tweets out he wants an apology, and Trump issues a statement saying, no big deal, that's what
Pence.
freedom of speech sounds like.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, he's a lot slicker.
Yeah, he
They
is.
said he got up and went out in the hallway and he listened.
And
to
he
the-
listened. You got it. Okay. That.
But I mean, what was this? There was a thing on Facebook about a picture of Abraham Lincoln and said, geez. And he thought he had it tough at the
At the theater.
theater.
That's good. I like that one.
Okay. And
He should have gone to see Mine American Cousin.
Yeah.
Are you going to go over to Black Friday and buy some things? Are you going to be? Do you? I had friends that used to ask me years ago to get. I had a pup tent, which we.
Did they have that years ago? I don't remember it years ago.
Yeah, they
When
had
do you
it.
remember Black Friday starting?
Who started it?
It's been going on for decades. It's just
Really?
people just haven't been as rabid about it.
Gung ho.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
Well, actually, the last few years I have, and the only reason is that normally Home Depot has a giveaway price on like pine boughs, pine ropes,
Oh, okay.
which I buy a whole bunch of every year to decorate Shirley Eustace's house.
Okay.
And I like saving like 50%
Yeah.
on it.
So you're out there at nighttime, is it? At 12 o'clock?
Well, I don't know. You have to find out. I think, frankly, now Home Depot may be opening at 6 o'clock Friday morning or something like that. A few years ago, it was midnight, and then more recently, it's been like 2, and I think I read it was going to be like 6.
I think my son Bruce years ago, he got up one night and went to that thing. I drove him over
Yeah.
to one of these
Yeah.
stores, and he was out there with his friends, and they all had chairs and
Well, at least-
blankets and everything. Okay,
At least
listen.
one I go for doesn't sell out,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, okay.
So I know I'm going to get it,
Yeah.
and I don't have to be
Do you know that the
banging
Brookline
on the gates.
Do you know that the Brookline police are gaining 10 new officers, 4 women and 6 men? What do you think of
No,
that?
but that's good.
I think
That's
it's-
good. If we had that much retirement, I mean, clearly we're not increasing the force, I don't think.
And the Titicut Follies is still with us, that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Wise, because of what's going on.
What was that guy's name?
Wise was his name.
Frederick Wise?
Yeah,
Was that it?
that's it. You got it.
The documentary
Bridgewater-
about the insane asylum
It's a Bridgewater State Hospital.
called
That's what it
Tennessee
was.
Follies.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There's one last thing I want to throw in here.
Okay.
Another thing, along with the guy who's cleaning up the fracking, there's another group of guys who've invented something really, really creative and useful. It's a nail polish, and if the girl dips it in her drink,
yeah.
changes colors if the date rape drug is in
Yeah.
the drink.
I heard about that.
That's
it
good.
protects you. That,
Yeah.
And Rick,
that's good.
Yeah.
And Rick Pacello, he got the Cy Young Award.
He got the Cy Young Award.
A Red Sox pitcher.
And,
okay.
and some model was really upset about it. Kate Upton.
They didn't
She
give it to,
swore on Facebook about it.
oh, they didn't give it to somebody from the Cubs?
Okay.
Her boyfriend. They didn't give it to her boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
That's what got her all upset.
Good
night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams. Good night, everybody. Good night, Irene.
hope that the
Good night,
cars-
everybody from the fun show
I
here
hope the car
at
starts
Big
so we
TV.
go outside. Yeah.
Pardon?
I hope the car starts.
Yes,
so
we
go
hope the
out.
car starts. Among our problems today was a car that wouldn't start. So we were set up. This is the 21st. Oh, yes, good thing we started early. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
buddy.
Happy Bird Day, as I like to call it. And I hope you have
Happy for
family
the
to get
bird.
together with. Huh?
Not happy for the bird.
No, not happy for the bird. Well, except for the two they pardon every year, right?
Yeah.
I never understood
Okay.
pardoned birds. What do they do for the rest of their lives?